Hello everyone, this is Ashee from Crafting with Ashee and welcome to this card making tutorial. This is the lovely card I have to share with you today. Isn't it gorgeous? And it's a vintage style card, but it's also got some lovely bright colour in it with this blueberry bushel. And this features few of my favourite stamp sets I'm going to show you, and quite a few different techniques. We're going to look at distressing, ghost stamping, and all sorts. So let me show you how I made this. This one is basic beige and blueberry bushel. So next one we're going to use is going to be basic beige again, but basic beige and strawberry slush. So let me show you. I have a piece here of my strawberry slush just on a series paper, and this measures 14.35 centimeters by 10. And we're just going to put this down on our piece of basic beige, which is half a centimeter bigger, so 14.35 by 10. There we go. So we just have this little border, and then we're going to stick this down on our card base. Our card base is a standard card base. That's an A4 sheet cut in half and then folded in half. And there we're just going to put this on the front, just like that. And I was just seeing if I had. Normally I would also put a piece of basic white in for the insert, but I haven't done that. So let's cut a piece now while I'm with you, and I'll show you how to do this. So this is my basic insert size. So I'm going to take a piece of basic white. I'm going to cut it first at 14.35 centimeters, which is basically you go to the 14 mark and you count 1, 2, 3 and a half, and then I'm going to cut it there, and then I'm going to cut it at 10 centimeters. Really simple, and that'll be scrapped for later on, and that is our insert. Right, so let's stick this on the inside, and that is what I call, and people who do my regular card clubs will know, I call my standard mat size. I'm going to be doing a tutorial where I show you how to mat and layer and always get the perfect mats. So if that's something you're interested in, let me know. If you would like to see a tutorial where I show you how to get always the perfect mat size, let me know. Right, let's set that aside and work on some stamping. I've got a piece here of basic beige. You can use a piece of scrap. I didn't have any scrap, so I have to start a new piece, unfortunately. And I'll bring the stamp sets I'm going to use. There's a few here. I'm going to start off with this one here called Just a Note. And we're going to use this lovely note piece here. There we go. And I'm going to find a block. So there we go. And then I'm going to just stamp tone on tone in basic beige. I'm surprised how well this came out. I haven't actually used this colour yet, even though it's been in our offering for a while. I've just not used it because it's not been one that's ever really I've really shown. I'm not a beige person at all, but I'm really pleased with the way it turned out. So I'm going to just stick that there. Yeah, lovely. Looks really good tone on tone. So give that a little bit of a clean up. Perfect. I'm just using a simple chamois for that. Okay, so let's put this back in its little home. So I'm going to do some more stamping, but before we do, I need to do a little bit of die cutting. So I am going to show you the die. This is the die here. Isn't it dinky? And this is the note paper die. So let's see. I'm going to set it this side, actually it'll be better. And you just layer something the way you want it, line it up the way you want it to line up. There's no right or wrong for this, or there isn't as far as I'm concerned. Really is up to you how you want it. And then I'm just going to hold that in place with some post-it note tape. I get another piece and I reuse this until there's no more life left in it. Then I've got a piece of gold scrap here. I'm going to cut out the clip, and then I'm going to cut this piece out once more, just out of plain where I haven't stamped it, and then we'll be good to go. Okay, so that's all our die cutting done, so let's go back to doing some stamping. I'm going to stamp using a basic beige again. So I'm going to set that aside, and last time we used this stamp, just a note. Just put this back properly, and then this time we're going to be using elements of text. You could use any of these stamps. I think I'm going to use this one this time. Doesn't really make a difference, you just want to have something in the background. So let's actually use this one here. Now I'm just going to stamp using my fingers. This gives you very organic, almost ghost stamping, so you can't see very much of what's happening. And then I'm going to go in with this one here. And I'm just doing the total opposite to when you normally stamp. You would never rock the stamp like this. Most of this you won't see, so don't worry. There we go. That's enough of that. So let's give this a clean quickly. And using your fingers to do it, your hand rather than a block, means you don't get the perfect stamping, which is exactly what we're looking for here. I just want a little bit of what I call ghost stamping, so it just fades in and out of the background and looks very much like it's just always been there. Alright, let's set that aside, and we're going to do our sentiment, and I'm going to do again, let's see, how does thank you look? Yeah, we'll do thank you this time, and I'm going to use strawberry slush. I'm going to use my grid paper to line things up. Look, I'll go for a smaller block, I think. And then there we go, thank you. Very simple like that. I'm going to close this up. So that was blueberry bush, so that's what we did before. These two colours go well together as well, don't you think? It's a nice combo. Remember that for next time. Okay, so clean that up. And put this back in its little home. And we're finished with all of our stamping. So let's get rid of the stamp set, so we have also I have a little bit of space on the desk. We're going to do a little bit of ink blending now. So I'm going to bring in my whatever you call this, basic beige. I'm just going to add some colour around the edges here, very much just very light around. That's enough there. Just adding something, just so you just have a little bit of, and then I'm going to go in with a dark colour, and I'm actually going to use, let's have a look. I'm going to use, I think, Early Espresso, and I'm just going to use a sponge dauber. That's the one I used before. And I'm just going to catch the edges of this so you get a really nice, it really pops against the background. So I'm just going around the edges here. I'm going to do the same for my bit with the sentiment as well. And this just makes it pop from the background, but also gives it that aged feel that I'm going for. Okay, so there we have that. So now we can close that up. But those are my ready to put our card together. So we're going to have one. I want to have my sentiment straight, so I'm going to have this piece at an angle. I think something like that looks good. So let's put some glue down here. It doesn't want to work. It's reached the end of its life. There we go. That will do fine. And then I'll put some glue on the top here. Just like that. And then we need some glue here. Oh. See if this one will work. I don't think it will. I don't know why this glue never works for me. Just seems to, all my glue seems to get clogged up so easily. I don't know if it's because the room is quite warm in the winter, in the summer here, but it's full south facing, so it can get really warm. There's not much I can do about that, I'm afraid. Get rid of some of that and see if this will work now. Just a little bit. That's enough. Right, I'm going to put this down on the top there. Give it a bit of a press down. Isn't that cute? And then, oopsie daisy, I'm going to do some embellishments. And I've got here some of our brushed butterflies, just to add a little something something to it. I'll use these big ones, I think. Have one there. There we go. So there are two cards. This is Strawberry Slush. This is Blueberry Bushel. You can tell me which one you prefer. Are you a pink girl or are you a blue girl or boy, whatever? Well, let me know. So I hope you've enjoyed this card making tutorial. If you have, I'd be grateful if you could give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you wanted more information about the project, the supply list, the measurements, it's all on the blog post on my website, and you can find the links to that as well as all my social media links in the description box below. So thank you again, and until next time, enjoy being creative. Bye.